All right, welcome back to the Man Cave. I'm your host, Black Irish. Got a video for you today, and it is about stepfathers. Is it worth it or is it not? The honest truth is, in my personal opinion, depending on the situation, it's not. If you have children and she has children, then it is. If she understands that it's not your responsibility to take care of her kids, then it is. If she's expecting you to pay all those bills when she still has an active father that is somewhere out there, it's not. You should not be taking the responsibilities of another man's children. If he didn't want her and she didn't do a good enough job choosing the man, then it's not your responsibility. It is not a package deal. That is a burden. That is a debt that you're picking up. The package deal is not for you, it's for her. But they don't tell you that because the honest truth is children come with packages and a whole bunch of stress that she'll never tell you on the first date. So always remember that. But let's get started with these videos, shall we?
Black men aren't being stepfathers no more because they see that it doesn't work. What's the thankfulness you get out of being a stepfather? You still get blamed. That's why, just like you don't want to deal with baby mama drama, don't nobody want to deal with ungrateful baby mamas.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like it or not, our culture is not one that women feel like they need to do something for a man, compete for a man. There are women in this world, in this country right now, who earn 10 times what you do, who come home and submit to their men.
Mm-hmm.
But because you got a little bit more money, it's like a lot more attitude. And I
Mm-hmm.
get it, but the question is, what are you individual women going to do? Because at the end of the day, it's not working.
Right.
It's not working for your mother. It's not working for you if you want a different outcome. And that's what this show is about. Just questioning what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brad, Lee, Ahmed, Enrique, non-black men, they ain't coming. They ain't dealing with this.
I'm not saying it's only within this one community, but it's something that has been taught. And he says something that was very important. He says, you made a little bit more money and now you think it's a flex. And it's the truth. A lot of the women who are saying, oh, you're intimidated by a woman with money, the men are not intimidated by your money. They're not intimidated by your success. But what they do see is a person that starts to develop an ego and starts to hold it over that man's head. We see that plenty of times. They don't like bringing that up. They just think you're supposed to overcome and adapt to everything. You're not supposed to respect them. And the honest truth is, respect goes both ways. You like to say it goes both ways when it's convenient, but you never want to talk about it when they try to throw their finances in that man's face and emasculate him. We see it all day long on the internet. TikTok alone, we've seen it enough that lasts a lifetime. And I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Well, it goes back and forth both ways. It's always that both ways when it's convenient. When you're doing it, you don't have a problem with it. When men start saying it, now all of a sudden you want to start complaining and talking about it's a two takes two to tango. It goes both ways, 50-50. You guys don't even like 50-50, but here you go coming out here. You're thinking that your credit cards with legs is the most valuable thing to a man when it's not. If he gives you that privilege to have him take care of you and those kids, you should be thanking your lucky stars and you should be on your knees thanking him. And I do mean thanking him because you could just be a single mother by yourself on welfare pretending to be a boss babe. Let's keep it real. Your children are only special to you. They weren't even special to the man that you chose. That's why he's not there. Or you basically didn't want him there. You found every way possible to get rid of him because you were bitter and angry, not able to accept responsibility, not able to accept that you're wrongs. You either called it 50-50 or made a blank statement about, oh, well, we both said wrong things. Well, what did you say? Because you could name everything I said that was wrong. What did you do that was wrong? Well, what was said? What was said? This is why it's the most difficult thing. Even when they've already proven that when families go to the counselor for spousal consultation, they've actually established that women have a difficulty dealing with the truth and even left because they didn't want to deal with it. And this is a professional setting they were doing it in. Imagine behind closed doors.
Under no circumstances should you ever become a stepfather. Now, before they get to the shame and the insults and the guilt, let me be very, very clear. Nobody hurt me. I've been married for almost 20 years, since I was 22 years old. Had my father in my life, two-parent household, successfully married since the beginning until my mom was widowed in my late 30s, and she's gotten remarried since then. But they're gonna try to throw shame and insults and guilt. And the reality is, in order for us to really have healthy households and to be successfully married, We got to start back at the beginning. No more remixing, no more ready-made families. Don't let them shame you because you got preferences. They got preferences too. They just can't get what they want. Never ever go and be a step baby daddy and take on a family that's not yours. That's not in your best interest. And that's not what the Bible say. And so we got to stop remixing the word and trying to make it fit our narrative. Even if you want to start referencing Joseph, like Russell Wilson did, Mary was a virgin. That was a miracle. And they needed a virgin in order to validate such a powerful being coming into this earth. You not her. So stop saying that you her. And I understand that God gives grace. So if you're able to finesse a man and convince him to be your step baby daddy, then better for you. But I'm always going to tell the people that's what's best for them. Never become a stepfather. It's not in your best interest.
Unfortunately, it's true. Modern day women this day and age are just not worth it. The fact is that women don't want to accept the fact that this is a problem for that man. And do you know that in certain states, depending on what state you're living in, you can be on the hook for paying for them for the rest of their life till they're 18. And if they're have any special needs, I think it's 22 or 24. It's something well within, because their development is way off from a normal child. So you're actually made to pay for them even longer. Like I said, case by case, state by state. The shame comes out every single time when they can establish the fact that, let's be real, your child is only special to you. You don't want to accept the fact that your child is only special to you. You want the entire world to believe, oh, my child is special and he's great and he's a good boy. He didn't do nothing. When the honest truth is, you're going to say whatever is necessary because you don't want to see yourself in a bad light, and that child's a reflection upon you. That's why if you ever notice when a child succeeds and a single mother sees the child succeed, it's all her. When that child fails, all of a sudden it's the father's fault. Oh, well, if the daddy was here, it wouldn't have happened, so it's his fault. Because women don't want to take responsibility. They only want to take the glory. The same way that a lot of women prefer the wedding, but not the whole marriage. They don't want to be actually married. They want to enjoy the wedding itself. The marriage is just a byproduct that they have to tolerate until they get tired of it. This is modern women thinking. Regardless of how you think about what I said, the fact is a lot of them do this. And they'll pretend not to, but it is what it is.
Do a lot if we really feeling you. It's the ones we don't like. We make them do it all.
So you ain't like your husband.
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
Well, I'm saying what his qualities was.
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And a nigga supposed to come with the bag?
They supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like you got to take care of me and my kids.
So, like you automatically get these responsibilities?
Yes.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
And how many niggas doing this?
I have between 2 or 3.
I'm saying, how many have you ran into in life?
Okay, so let's say I run into 100 dudes. Probably about 4 of them.
Yeah, that's about the odds.
Mm-hmm,
I fuck with that now.
Probably about 4 of them.
That's about the odds. All right.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's so that kind of sound like you are delusional. You just catching, it's just a sucker born every day.
Basically.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying, a nigga that's, so you ain't never caught no nigga that's worth something doing that though. Am I kidding?
I probably have one. See, the way this game work is you have to get with a man who ain't used to dating bad.
Okay, so I heard all the videos, all the comments of all the women saying, oh, she be trolling and saying things. She always trying to look to go viral. Doesn't mean that what she's saying isn't true. Doesn't mean that she doesn't really mean it. And the fact of the matter is, you don't got proof that she's trolling. You got proof that she's actually going out here and saying the things that she's saying, these outlandish things. And I tell you, this is exactly why. You're not denouncing what she's saying. You're just making excuses that that's not what every woman thinks of. But you're not proving to these men that that's not how most of you women think. What you do is you go out here and you pretend that, oh, well, she's a fluke and it's not really this and she's really doing this and doing that. Okay, show me the proof. Because right now, what I see is a woman who is legitimately coming out here insulting men. And all I hear from the women is, she's not speaking for all of us, so don't get too offended by it. Okay. All right. You can say whatever you want, but the honest truth is, in the end, men hear the messages and they see how women react. They're not denouncing it. What they're doing is they're lightheartedly going at it as if they're denouncing it, but they're really not. Look at the way they treat men and look at the way they treat women. That's all you have to see. They'll treat men as if they make mistakes. They're always guilty no matter what. When a woman makes a mistake, you have to make excuses for why it wasn't everyone and she wasn't speaking for everyone. But a man makes a mistake or does something to you, every man is responsible, even though they weren't. And that's why I say I'm going to close it with this. This is why it's not really good with modern women, because the women that of the yesteryear are not the same as the women now. It's a new breed of women who don't respect these men and are looking for cash cows and people to look up. This woman literally called them simps. But then again, we had an election where a whole bunch of men were insulted by women and they still voted in their favor because of fear. Let's keep it real. They were voting out of fear of them rejecting them. You say whatever you want. I don't care. They voted the other way around because their women made them feel inferior. You can't tell me that someone can insult you and you just keep going. I should be a good boy. So that's why I say not all single mothers are bad, but the honest truth is you shouldn't be lifting a finger for her kids. You don't have to prove nothing to her. She has to prove everything to you. Sorry. Good night.